Toby the Kran, I'm 22 and I'm from Ghent, Belgium.
Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of Dig Ultimate's 10-episode fall docu-series documenting an elite US team's push to nationals. Today I'm going to step away and let two special guests share the story of where Dig is at today in our quest for October and also where Dig came from. Let's start with the recently crowned MVP of the UFA, Mr. Toby the Kran.
Describe Dig Ultimate.
A lot of fun, a lot of competing, and high level practices at all times.
What's something about Dig that's different this year from last year?
I feel like everybody found their own roles a bit better this year than last year, especially me. So I think this year everybody has a role that they can do, and that helps the team quite a lot. So overall, I think we're a lot better this year than last year.
Yeah, do you see any challenges that Dig faces that we need to prepare for in the last 2-3 weeks before nationals?
I think a big challenge is always going to be staying focused, especially after you've just won UFA. We can't get ahead of ourselves, and the competition is still not even started for nationals, so everybody can still win. So I think, as long as we don't get ahead of ourselves and keep working hard and trusting in each other and loving each other, that's how we're going to get to the end goal.
What's the atmosphere like, and what do you look forward to? We got practice in 45 minutes. What's kind of making you excited?
I think there's a very unique thing about this team, which is having fun. I think a lot of teams have fun, but I think here it's a lot more than in other teams. We warm up with a game always, which is a ton of fun, and then pretty much everybody is able to just flip the switch, go into game mode, and in between points, in between games, in between drills, there's just so much fun and so much bits going on. I think that's a big thing for Dig, the fun we have on the field.
You probably match up with Dig teammates more than anybody all season. Any fun matchups in practice that you either like to take defensively or offensively?
I think Peter Burth is really good in defense. He also plays on the O-line sometimes, but I think he likes to guard me. At least that's what he tells me. And I think that's always a good challenge for me to get better. So I really like playing against him.
Why are you playing Ultimate Frisbee so far away from your hometown?
That's a good question. I think overall the US is just better at Ultimate. There's more high-level competition, more commitment, more dedication, and not unimportant, there's more money in it here than in Belgium or in Europe overall. So I think that's the main reason why I'm here, to get better and to make it a big part of my life.
How have you been able to stay dedicated and motivated to kind of make it work both on and off the field?
It isn't always too easy to stay motivated in a sport like this, but I think the things you get back from playing Ultimate is so massive that I always get pulled back into the sport. So the friendships, the winning feelings, the losing feelings, there's so many emotions in the sport that I keep going back to it. So I think that's the main reason.
What have you done in the last year to put yourself in a place of success?
So I always keep practicing the same because I know I'm going to get better still, and my long-term plan has been working out great, and I just trust the process. Nothing's going to change overnight, so just work hard every day. And after a lot of hard days and a lot of hard practices, we've got to this point. So I'm going to continue to do the same and hopefully be even better in a couple of months or a couple of years.
Has any game impacted the way you outlook for Ultimate and train?
Yeah, definitely. The losses hurt me that much more and motivate me that much more than the wins. So for me, a big pivotal point in my career has been the quarterfinal loss against Japan, which I think unfortunately a lot of people have seen, and that really fired me up to work harder, become better, and basically not have to feel that way ever again. And I think it's worked out.
What tips are you sharing to, help them achieve that and to be able to, play Dig one day?
Yeah. Um, Consistently playing at the highest level you can is a big thing for me. That's what I've always tried to do. And don't hesitate to take a shot sometimes and to just go for it. Same like I did. Like going to North America is a pretty big step. But I think sometimes you gotta take some risks and try some stuff out. And that's how you end up in fortunate situations.
Dig's story is as fascinating as Toby's personal journey. I made the call to Team USA's Noah Backer, who has arguably played more games than anyone in a Dig uniform. Let's start with the early days.
The foundation of Dig was really put in by a few key people. Alex Dagley, who's kind of like, I think what most people think of as kind of the godfather of the team, and he was kind of joined by a few different members. I know Tim Schock, who obviously is now with Machine. Lundy, Ben Sadok was a big part of it, and there's a few others that were a really crucial part of that first year. And they obviously made a really great run that year at regionals, making nationals in their first year. And I believe they lost to, I think, Sockeye in the quarters or something. It might have been the pre-quarters in that first year. And then the second year is where I kind of came in. It was myself, Henry, Dylan Best, Willie Stewart. Man, I'd like to look at the roster while I'm naming. There were so many young college guys who were recruited in that second year, and that was a super foundational year for the team. It was a little weird because 2017 was my first year on Dig was the last year that Ironside was a team, right? And the next year, I think I have that right. Yeah, the next year, 2018, is when Ironside ended up, kind of folding, whatever the right word is. And
Yeah.
and the year after, in 2018 is when we got like Jack, Tyler, Cricket, Jay. I don't think there are any others.
Was it hard? Were there players on Dig that kind of got bumped with the talent influx? How was it going from two really good teams to one, especially as the team that is like absorbing that talent? Like, is it tough cuts with friends, or was it pretty, the writing
Yeah,
was on the wall?
I think there was some, you always have this whenever you have these two different groups of people with certainly different personalities and team strategies and team cultures. It's tough to know, like, are you going to absorb our culture? Are we going to absorb some of yours? And we did try to make it somewhat of like a coexistence of both cultures, but I think naturally it was really hard, I think, for the Ironside guys because they were going from a very storied program with a ton of success and a way of doing things to the way that we did things, which was way different. It was very like player led, very like we don't care as much about results right now. Um, and I think that we didn't handle the transition exactly the right way, to be honest with you. Like, I think we could have gotten more guys from Ironside. We did have to cut a few guys from Dig to like kind of make room for these incredible players. But I think in the end, like, we were a group of pretty emotionally uh insecure and immature players. We knew what we wanted, but I don't think that we necessarily welcomed them into our culture with like a, hey, we want to learn from you and we want to take some stuff from what you guys did and your success and integrate it into our systems and our team. It was like a, hey, welcome to Dig. This is how
Yeah.
we do stuff.
Now let's hear how Dig was able to maintain the early turbulence and get through the early transitory period.
We actually had Josh McCarthy, the old Ironside coach us, and that was him and Wicks. Both were a really good foundational part to take us from like kind of this like player led team into more of a coach led team. And then we ended up moving on from them and we went to we brought in Sam and Jake. It was Ned, Gabe and I were captains, and we kind of made the call to bring in Sam and Jake. And I think if you were part of the start of Dig, and you were on this team, you'd probably be a little upset at kind of the direction that it went, because a lot of those players, didn't want what we have now or what Dig has now become. It's weird not saying we.
So
Um, But I think Sam and Jake have brought a lot of really incredible leadership to this team. I think that Dig is in a place where any game can go any way, and I think that they bring a level of preparation and strategy that I don't think many other teams have. The amount of work that they do off the field to prepare us for really any game is really incredible. I keep saying us. That's so funny, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I was gonna ask, like, it's kind of fourth phase now. It's full circle.
yeah,
If they don't know, you actually landed in the pool with your boys. You brought your
yeah,
hometown,
yeah,
well, the Red Tide, to nationals, help
yeah,
bring them to the promised land again.
yeah.
How's it feel when you drew Dig, and what's it going to be like in a couple weeks when you play against like a team that you have literally given everything for?
Yeah, I think it'll be like a little emotional for me, but to be honest, like I didn't have an immediate reaction when I was watching it actually. I didn't have an immediate reaction when Dig was drawn because like any one seed is going to be really hard to beat and any two seed's going to be really hard to beat and the same with three seeds, and Tide we've had a really really great arc to our season and there's so many things I can talk about with Tide, but like regardless of who we have in our pool, like we're going in with certain strategies for what we want to do and what we want to accomplish, and we have certain goals that we want to set out to really to get to. And I think that for me personally, it'll be a little bit emotional and a little bit weird, but honestly, like it's probably a good thing. It's probably going to be a really fun experience for me to match up against some of the guys, and um, I have a ton of respect for the whole program. Like I didn't leave on any bad blood. I have a ton of respect for every player. I'm still great friends with everyone, so it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right. I hope everyone now has a better understanding of Dig Ultimate as a program and where we came from. In just 2 weeks' time, we'll be hitting the field in San Diego for the national championships, so make sure you stay tuned on the next couple of episodes. I've also recently dropped a free film school study guide. It's in the description below. It's a brand new program, and we wanted to give you one free week. Take a look, download it, and work on becoming a smarter, better, and high IQ player. Thanks to Toby and Noah for coming on. Let me know on Instagram who else you want to see in this mini doc, and we'll see you next week.